All right, guys. Good morning, good night, good afternoon, wherever you guys are from. I do appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. I've been gone for a while, trying to pick up the pieces of my last endeavor with Apex and Call of Duty. I have a lot of scrims that I got a lot to do during the end of summer. So it's a pretty busy time for me in general, just in other games, because I've got other obligations for those games. Had always those obligations for those games for a long time. But now we're back, and there's a lot of juicy stuff for from the Predcast about the future of Predecessor, that one of the developers, the head of developers, and the guy that's in charge of the whole thing, kind of answered some questions. Now, I'm not gonna be the one that says I told you so, but I freaking told you so on everything he said and confirmed. They have nowhere near working on. I told you that this was not going to happen. A lot of people are like, well, they are bound to have to, make another map. Nope. They're bound to upgrade this map. Nope. They're bound to, change the aesthetic. Surely. Nope. They're going to keep it 2016. And that's not exactly what they said. As far as the end part, everything else up to the end part is correct. There is no, they're not changing this map. They have no reason to change this map. Blah 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 blah. But to me and to a lot of people, that's like saying you want to keep it 2016, right? I have a big problem with that. And I think a lot of people don't really realize the kind of problem that this is going to generate. Like, Penzo has already got it kind of like covered a little bit by revamping characters' kits from 2016 form to the modern day. And that's a lesson to be learned right there. And I think that the developers are kind of stuck into the past. And not in the sense of nostalgia, but they're leading off that, and they're trying to, it's as if they're cutting a wound into their past, and the blood is basically nostalgia, all the fun they had in that part, and they just keep stabbing it and stabbing it and stabbing it, and all this blood just keeps coming. Eventually nostalgia is going to run out, right? The blood's going to run out, and you're going to have an open wound, and you're just going to die. That's how I feel like this game is going towards with those type of answers. But then he kind of brings to light that there's a lot of exciting things to come from this, right? The new UI change, which there's a lot of debacle with the Jelly Knees podcast and Sockcap trying to argue that yeah, check that out. That was my last video. That is absolutely priceless. Nothing was actually done in that conversation. Nothing. It was all pointless. But that I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the UI and lack of content. I understand that. I understand the reasoning behind it. It's not just a bold thing going, we're going to try something new. This is literally something that they need to do so that way they can better the future. And I think that, what was that? And I think that that's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a solid idea. I think there's nothing wrong with that. People should really back off from that. Now, if they don't deliver off this new UI, and then they don't deliver from that point on, there's really no excuses, right? Season 1, they delayed some features. Season 2, they delayed a lot of features. And then they promised that in Season 3, all those features are coming back, plus more features, plus other things that the characters are going to, the heroes would basically benefit from. So there's a big payoff that's what they're saying. Is it true? Is it not true? Should we believe it? Should we not believe it? In my personal opinion, with game developers, especially with small game developers that are trying to basically run off of nostalgia, you need to jump off that train eventually. You need to get the fuck away from there. Like, there's no reason why you should be. There's no reason why you should be there. There's no reason why There's no reason why we need to run off of it. We can start and have an idea based off of nostalgia and then modernize it with modernize it with the the modern mechanics or the new advancements that we have, or what we've learned. That's like making a video game based off of glitches we've seen in past video games, and then we still try to make the same video game even though we know that there's glitches in that video game or there's something flawed about that video game, right? Like there's a huge, I shouldn't have took that kill, but there's a huge gap between those two features. Now, bottom line is this. I think what he said made a lot of sense. Basically, in a nutshell, the podcast brought to light that they have and always will be concentrating on the core gameplay, which is great. But you're not really addressing a lot of the issues from the core gameplay. So, and then you kind of say things like you like the way that things are, you like the aesthetic of what 2016 brought, and you don't want to change it. So that is a lot of worries with what that statement is, because that means that you don't want to learn off of past mistakes. Instead, you rather just feed off of it and hope for the best. He also stated that, and this has kind of bugged me, he also stated that when they first came out with this game, introduced 7 characters, right? And people are still playing it. And you think you did really good off. He praises himself off that. You think you did good when you made a game semi-successful to, let's say, 2,000 people concurrently, and then you're not going to cater to those people. How are you catering to those people? How are you going to cater to those people? You're not going to. You already said you're not going to. So what's the reasoning besides no progression, right? There's no progression in the game. There's no real masteries in the game. But wait, he did address that. He said there will be masteries, but that will happen after the UI patch, literally the patch after that. So a month after that, right? If everything goes smoothly. So we're waiting a long time. We're waiting a long time for content. And then we're told that we're not good enough to have any other kind of content until the UI is changed after the mastery. It's changed for the master so that we can have progression. So when the UI comes out, we're not going to have progression. We're just going to have a UI. And then a month after that, we're going to start getting progression. Okay. So what are you going to do for the people that have waited? What are you going to do to the people, or for the people that have stood by you, that you claim to make a really good game, right? Well, bro, where are you? Where are you? You want to feed into this theory that, well, this game is really good. I have a great game. It's doing really well. Okay. So what are you going to do about it for the people that have stuck by, that have supported you, that have helped you out throughout? I'm going to tell you right now, being part of the testing group, I'm allowed to say this stuff now. Well, there's nothing to disclose. I'm not going to disclose anything crazy. But being part of the testing group and seeing the inside, the plans of the future development and what we've been spilling out as ideas, we've kind of been brushed off. And I feel like the developers have missed a mark right there. They could have actually done something grand, and instead they decided to fuck it up. And I don't know. The whole idea is that we brought to light these ideas, and they said, well, it's not really the aesthetic of the game, or this isn't really what we plan on doing with the game. Right, but this is what the community wants the direction to go to, and they don't care. Well, it's not they don't care. They want to cater to their vision and their vision alone. That's it. That's all they want to do. So when Penzo makes these videos to alter abilities, modernizing them, and no one's listening, it's a huge problem. Because you have a big influencer literally trying to fix an overall or overarching issue. I didn't even see that word that I just passed by. It's funny. An overarching issue. Instead, you want to praise it and just put a band-aid over it. You know? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of missed opportunities. We should get out of 2016. We should embrace the changes that are wanting to be, you know, influenced by Pinzo. I feel like a lot of his stuff, a lot of his opinions about roles with Pinzo is that it's his way or the highway, right? But I feel like those type of people are the people that know what they're talking about in the sense of modernizing something like this when they have that much passion into the game, in my opinion. I don't like his opinions. Don't have to. I don't have to like his opinions. But I think in this area, they should matter. They definitely should matter. And people should definitely take in consideration, including the developers. I think what he's done with Drongo so far in the first video, which you gotta check it out. I'll try to have a description down below. Is a fantastic video. I agree wholeheartedly on what he says, and he's always been spilling this since Severog. You know, he's said this on Severog when I first started watching him, is that Severog's kit is very 2016. I didn't know what that meant until I started playing the game more and more and more, and I started realizing, well, yeah, he's actually right. This is very this is very 2016 in the sense that like everything back then was very linear. Now things are becoming much more vertical and actually becoming much more 3D in the sense that like this game is going to be, you know, is targeting those type of people. And back in 2016, it wasn't really 3D. Things weren't really 3D. Fortnite hadn't come out yet. Battle Royales weren't really the significant difference in gaming at the time. So there's a lot of changes since Paragon has first 2016 let eyes into the world. This is why Epic Games got rid of the game in the first place for Fortnite, because they knew the inconsistencies that came with this game. And that it's true. This game has a lot of inconsistencies, especially when the developers didn't know quite what the aesthetic was. And then, you know, you have almost 10 years later, you have a new developer that knows the flaws of the last developer, but still doesn't change anything about it. Instead, embraces those, you know, that's where I'm having an issue. This is the issue. You need to embrace change, fix the game, modernize your characters, put some more aesthetic into the map, make a different map before free-to-play hits, and you'll have a lot more respect for the people that are coming in, because then they'll see the work. They don't like developers that go, we do know what the work does. We do put in the work. Well, you just don't know what the work, you know, what we put in actually does. You fucking idiot. Yeah, we don't. We shouldn't. You should deliver. That's it. Deliver, communicate, respect. It's all about numbers, and it's all about communicating with the community and reading the community in a proper way. Like, it's absolutely insane to me that you have this way of thinking and or this outlet of like, oh my God, I have like an awesome community that tells me what they want truthfully, and everyone agrees, but yet I'm not going to do it. So what I would like to see is I would like to see them reward players for sticking around through the boring parts, which is now. The people, I want them to penalize the AFKers, the toxicity in the game, a little bit harsher. I want them to come to the community and talk to them and start events with the community in the Discords. You know, be part of your game. That's it. And also modernize your characters, but that falls in the line of what I was talking about before. So that's it. Yeah, GG's. thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for letting me know what you guys think about the comments down below. Subscribe, like, all that stuff that we do. This was Jungle Steel, by the way, I was playing. Yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Modernize your characters and give some stuff for the dedicated players. Thank you.